Welcome to DPI's presentation, Preparing to File the Form 471. The purpose of the Form 471 is to request services and equipment from USAC based on your evaluation of responses to your Form 470s. For 2016, all Form 471 applications must be filed online within USAC's EPIC portal. This is where the Form 470 is also filed. Filing opened on February 3rd, and the Form 471 filing deadline is April 29th. Because the new Form 471 has been rebuilt from the ground up, USAC has acknowledged that early users are likely to face technical problems. We strongly recommend waiting until early March to file any Form 471s to let other users find the bugs and give USAC a chance to fix them before you file. DPI will not be providing guidance on filing the Form 471 until late February. No state agency in the country, including DPI, has had any advance opportunity to see or work with the new Form 471. Because there will be announcements from USAC about how to address problems in filling out the Form 471, at least one person in your district should subscribe to USAC news briefs and check the SLD website regularly. There's also good news for 2016. There's over $5 billion in the fund, up from $3.9 billion in 2015. It is almost certain that all legitimate requests for 2016 will be funded. And we encourage you to take advantage of the extra time you now have to reevaluate your possibilities for network and broadband improvements, and file Form 470s to take advantage of them without having to wait another year. People often ask when the Form 470 filing deadline is. Now that we know when the Form 471 filing deadline is, which is April 29th, we're able to give an answer. You should file your last Form 470 by March 15th to give you ample time to evaluate bids and fill out the resulting Form 471. The late Form 471 deadline amounts to a filing extension for the Form 470. You have 5 weeks from today, February 4th, to reassess your network and broadband needs and fill out a Form 470 to request funding for them in the 2016-2017 school year. This can include internal network improvements, which is Category 2, such as switching and wireless upgrades, as well as network maintenance and management. In addition, you have time to assess the amount and cost of the internet bandwidth you're receiving, Category 1, and if you choose to put out a Form 470 to see if better options that you're not aware of might exist. To help you proceed if you choose to file additional Form 470s in preparation for filing your 471s, we will now provide some Form 470 filing tips. The new Form 470 does not require you to include an RFP for the services that you seek, but there can be advantages to doing so. An RFP can help you and your vendors by clarifying what you're asking for so that vendors don't need to contact you with questions. Also, for E-rate purposes, an RFP does not have to be an extensive document. It can be as simple as a list of items and services desired and quantities sought. If you choose to use an RFP, you have to upload it to EPIC when filing the Form 470. You cannot host it anywhere else. Whether or not you use an RFP, it's important to be as specific as possible in describing what you want so that vendors know what to offer. A vague request can give vendors an opportunity to offer something less than what you might want, which you then might have to accept. If you aren't sure about what quantities of something you'll need, state an estimated quantity and write, amounts purchased may vary by up to 30%. If the variation might be more than that, make multiple requests. For example, request quotations for 50, 200, and 500 megabits. For internal equipment, you will often want a specific manufacturer, model, and part number that, that fits into your existing network environment. In this case, you should list exactly the part you want, but must add or equivalent. This gives all vendors an opportunity to bid. When evaluating bids, you'll be able to determine if alternative offers would be equivalent within the context of your environment. When you evaluate bids, numerous factors should be included, such as cost, prior history with the vendor, references and/or reputation of the vendor, and any necessary costs that are not included with the bid. To help with this, USAC has provided a sample bid evaluation matrix. For larger bids, it's important to create a matrix like this to help you make your decision and to support it if vendors or PIA should challenge it. Cost must be the most heavily weighted factor, but does not have to be the only factor. You should include all factors that are important to you in the matrix. You will see from the example that vendor 3 won the bid even though their price was not lowest, because prior experience with the lowest bidder was poor. The example matrix is provided by USAC and bears careful study. Finally, you can save a great deal of time in filling out your Form 471 if you organize key information that you will need to input in advance. It can be helpful to create a spreadsheet that includes headers for 470 number, requested service or item, quantity, cost per month for services, unit cost for equipment, vendor name, vendor SPIN number, contract number if applicable, contract start and end date, which building budget or buildings budget will the Category 2 purchases come out of, and the BEN of that building or buildings.